You might have seen one of my most recent videos, and that was my 5 beginner tips to better barbecue. And where do you think those tips come from? That's from making mistakes. And even I make mistakes. So this video, I'm gonna talk about some of the most common mistakes that you can easily avoid. It's gonna result in better barbecue. So stick around and see what we've got to say. If you're new here, my name is Andrew and I'm an engineer. So everything that you see here at Anderson Smoke Show is gonna be technical, it's gonna be to the point, and it's going to benefit you in your journey in making better backyard barbecue. Now let's get started. For this video, we might as well start from the beginning into the end. And one of the first mistakes that you can make when it comes to backyard barbecue is not cleaning your grill. Not cleaning your grill can be disastrous, and I can give you a prime example of where this bit me in the ass not too long ago. Just a couple months ago, I had 2 4-pound tomahawk ribeyes, fresh from the butcher, and I was cooking them on the Masterbuilt Gravity Series 560, hadn't touched that grill in a few months, and lo and behold, it was dirty. So when it came time for the sear, I cranked that thing up to a high temperature and the grill caught on fire, actually to the point of needing to put it out. And this is what sucks. Cranked it up to sear, and we had a grease fire, and I had to shut everything down, and I got $100 worth of tomahawks just sitting here ready to go on to sear. And what happened? I was stuck there with 2 tomahawk ribeyes that had smoked all the way through to about 115 degrees internal temperature. Now I've got to deal with a grease fire. Now not only is it a hazard to my food or potentially ruining my food, it's a hazard to my home. And it was not a good experience. And why did that happen? Because I didn't prepare and I didn't clean my grill. And that's something that you should always consider, especially if some of your most recent cooks were really greasy or really fatty, because those grease fires can take over like that. Always make sure that your grill's clean. If there's a grease management system like a trough that leads to a grease collection tray or bucket, make sure that it's free of debris and the grease can flow. I'll show you an example here on the Camp Chef what that looks like. When it comes to cleaning your grill, we're all familiar with the classic grill brush. Do yourself a favor and throw this wire bristle piece of shit out of the way. Stop using those. They can be a hazard. Actually, if you consume one of those bristles, it can kill you. I actually have a family member who lost a friend earlier this year to that, and that's no joke. Get yourself one of the alternatives. These are some of the Grillaholics brushes. This is a bristle-free wire brush, and this is a nylon brush. Both of these are safe. You're not gonna run into that situation where the bristles break off and sneak into your food and you consume it and run into some health problems. Don't wanna have that. So get yourself a better, higher quality brush and go for something bristle-free or nylon. Another big mistake that you can make with backyard barbecue, especially if you just bought your first smoker or you just bought your first pellet grill, is trying to start too big. Don't go for that 17 or 18 or 20 pound prime brisket. Start with something cheaper like a pork shoulder, or start with some chicken, a whole chicken, a turkey. These are a lot easier to manage. They are a lot shorter of a cook, and truthfully, just get yourself familiar with your grill and your environment. Then move on and take steps and move on to some of that bigger stuff, like a brisket. Another big mistake that people tend to make when it comes to barbecue, and that is cooking to time and not temperature. The difference between salmonella and dry chicken is temperature, not time. So quit cooking to time, throw that out the window. And when it comes to cooking to temperature, a lot of your grills nowadays are gonna have probe setups that are built in. Now those are great for monitoring temperature, but if you really want true and scientific and accurate measurements, get yourself a good instant read thermometer like the ThermoWorks ThermaPen MK4 or this ThermoWorks ThermaPen 1. They are great, they are lab calibrated, and they give you instant readings like right now. And from my personal experience, adding one of these into your cooks will make a world of difference, I promise you. Get yourself one of these instant read thermometers. One of the last mistakes that I'm going to talk to you about today is not resting your food. There's 2 reasons why resting your food is important. First off, carryover temperature. Because your food is coming off a hot grill, the exterior of your meat or your protein is going to be hotter than it is in the center. As you rest your meat, that carryover temperature where it's hotter on the outside than it is on the inside will even out, and actually the meat will continue to cook just a little bit. That's why a lot of times with chicken or turkeys, you see people pull it off at like 163, 162. And that's because they know that that carryover temperature is going to bring that up to temperature. People do that with steaks as well. When they want that perfect medium rare, they're going to pull it just a little bit before that medium rare temperature, because that carryover temperature will get them right where they want to be. The second part about resting your meat is the juices. When you cut into a hot piece of meat right off the grill, the juices are going to flow right out. If you let your protein rest, those juices will be absorbed back in, and it'll result in a more tender and a more juicy cut of meat. And believe me, that's what you want. So yeah, I know some of these tips are very beginner. Some of these are kind of intuitive, something that you've heard before, or it's a no-brainer. But the truth is, we all make mistakes. I'm sure you've caught your grill on fire too, and you don't want to do it again. And I'm sure that you've overcooked your food before, so get yourself a thermometer. All these tips are just here to help you become a better cook in your backyard, on your new pit or your new smoker. If you like tips like this, if you like good recipes, you like good food, and you like a little bit of a technical overview of things, then be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time at Anderson Smoke Show. First off, I want to say thanks. For those of you who watch and for those of you who comment, that's the reason why videos like this are put together, because I get a lot of questions. People are just getting into this and they're looking for some help. This mistakes video is generated from some of the mistakes that I've made, and I'm just looking out for everybody. I also made a beginner tip video where I put out 5 of my tips. That video there is meant to help you make better backyard barbecue. So if you haven't watched that video, I'm gonna play a little bit of it here, and then I'll put a link to it so that you can go and watch that and see 5 of my most important tips to beginner backyard barbecue. I get comments all the time where people are 3 hours in and they ask me, what do I do next? While I appreciate the support and I appreciate that you want my opinion, I'm probably not gonna get to you in time. The worst thing that you can do is get into a cook and not know what you're gonna do. There are 3 key components of this. The first one, do I have everything I need? The second one, what do I need to do to make this happen? And the third one, what are my expectations? What is my desired outcome? If you can identify all 3 of those, you've got yourself a game plan, and that's gonna get you started, and that's gonna get you set up for success. Tip number 2, taste your rubs. Taste your rubs, taste your rubs, taste your rubs. I can't stress that enough. I have personally experienced this myself, where I got a new rub and never tried it. I put it on a piece of meat and found out, damn it, it is so salty. In the end, for all of us, all we're trying to do is get better. And we need to learn from each other, and we need to learn from those who've made the mistakes. Hope you liked the video, hope you liked the channel. I'll see you next time at Anderson Smoke Show.